It's long exciting with this cameraman giving it to McCoy live here on the WHS Network. On YouTube downtown here for some ladies volleyball here at home season opener of the 2019 season. As we welcome the Delta Eagles as they begin to take on the Wapahani Lady Raiders here this season for the region of Selma, Indiana. We'll get right down to things here first on our latest game report presented by KJ Wapahani sponsorship here for the WHS Network during the 2019-20 season. But folks, I'll tell you what, it's been a little bit of a long break here for us. Been about 2 months or so since our last game coverage. And that was during the baseball season, which they had a great run. Made it to the regional championship game. And so now 2 months later, here we are back ready to get things going again with another year of high-action packed Raiders sports here on the WHS Network. And what a way to get things started here at home between two very impressive volleyball programs such as Wapahani and Delta. Now, both teams coming into tonight's game with a new look, if you will. Not only a new look a little bit to the team, but also a new coaching staff on both sides. Delta, in the offseason, hired Whitney Stewart. She was formerly the head coach for the Cowan Blackhawks. Before that, she was the assistant coach for Delta before she landed the Cowan job a few years ago. While Wapahani is now under the new tutelage of Katie Weir. And she has a whole new coaching staff with her as well. Paige Williamson, Lindy Thomas, as well as Madison Mangus. So that's the new coaching staff here for Wapahani and Delta now. Some new faces to go along with it. Delta did have quite a few seniors from last year's team that graduated, but a good portion of the core is still there with the likes of heavy hitter Molly Hunt. Molly coming into tonight's game really won a whole lot last year. Only had 3 years, and that was in Texas. But previous to that, she's been a dynamic player throughout her high school career to this point. So I'm sure that she will definitely be up for the task for the season one and get this senior campaign underway. And then really another player to really watch for here, returning players, Bella Daringer. 116 kills last year, 17 assists. There's 3 digs, but this is a 9 there's the Bella Daringer. She is going to be another key player here for the volleyball team. And really look for those 2 players to make the biggest impact, not only in this game, but all season. And from there, they do have some young girls that's coming up. Some girls that played some JV last year that started moving on. So really don't necessarily know a whole lot about them other than, it's the first game, you know it's going to be tough. Both teams are going to kind of try to get the butterflies out there a little bit and then go from there. But I think they're going to be very well coached, and it's going to be a very well played game here on behalf of the Delta Eagles. Now, Wapahani, we're returning Natalie Summers, good hitter here for Wapahani, second in kills for the team last year with 238. Also to go along with that with 308 digs, 343 assists, 45 aces. Again, that was second on the team in kills there for Natalie Summers. Also senior Emma Shuck. I'm more than likely probably going to be seeing her on the outside hitting possibly. Maybe not, we'll see where Katie Weir has her lining up this year, but she played a viable role in last year's team as well. Olivia Smith. More than likely going to be a huge defensive component to this Lady Raider team this season. She was last year, and so her role is extremely significant for this Lady Raider volleyball team. Also, senior seven, Colin Stewart, very important key component to her to the Raiders' success this year is being able to have her sevens going to be able to go out there, step the hitters up nicely, and hopefully really just have fluency and consistency on the offensive side of the volleyball. But then lastly here, Peyton Brewer, another young lady that's coming into her sophomore year, showed promise last year, seeing some of that again this year, hopefully. And hopefully the Raiders will be able to lean on her as season goes along as well. And you also have Jason Stanley, who's sitting at Emily Snow, also returning to this 80-woman volleyball team this season. And then a lot of new faces. I think we end up having 4 to 5 freshmen dressing varsity. Reese Baker, Cole Cook, Riley Felton, Mason Bowden, Keegan Miles. All dressing varsity and all probably see some significant game time and play a very important key role into the success of this team, not only this year, but many more years to come. So a lot of excitement there, especially with those young ladies. They had a team last year in middle school that finished their middle school careers undefeated. So I'm sure there's a level of expectation there that comes with that. But at the end of the day, you still got to go out there and you got to play the game the right way, play hard and play together. And hopefully these ladies have had some time to mesh all together and hopefully get to come out here and get a big-time W against the Delta Eagles coming up here tonight on the WHS Network. So, folks, we're going to step aside here for a break. Again, this has been our Raiders Line pregame report presented by Carol J. Wolf BDSCC. Again, we'll have the lineups coming up as well as the national anthem. And then we started tonight's game between the Delta Lady Eagles and the Wapahani Lady Raiders. Again, back here on the WHS Network after this.
We know the right way to get you where you need to go. We'll be the wheels underneath you, out on the road. We're driven to give you the best service. We're driven cause we know you deserve it. Stoops, we're driven to be the best. Stoops, we're driven to be the best.
Need legal advice or representation, you can trust B. Joseph Davis, attorney at law in Muncie. Our focus is personal injury. We handle cases involving serious injuries, wrongful deaths, all vehicle crashes, nursing home cases, medical product and drug recalls, and slips, trips, and falls. No fee until we win. We offer evening, weekend, home, and hospital appointments for your convenience. Contingency fee arrangements are available. For a free consultation, call B. Joseph Davis, attorney at law, today.
Alrighty, welcome back here, Raider fans. Going to bring with us again alongside with his camera, Jordan Redbeard McCoy. Get here with tonight's lineups. First here for the visiting Goats and the Eagles. Got number 1, Maggie Mann. Number 2, Molly Tuttle. Number 3, Tynan Bushman. Number 4, Gracie Gibson. Number 5, Sammy Herron. Number 6, Ainsley Grismore. Number 7, Olivia Bradbury. Number 8, Bella Daringer. As well as number 9, Kendra Keesley. Number 10, Kaylee Amos. As well as number 11, Molly Hunt. Number 12, Maddie Smith. Number 15, Vivian Flett. And the Lady Eagles are coached by Whitney Stewart. Now we'll take a look here at the lineup here for the Wapahani Lady Raiders. Olivia Smith, number 1. Number 2, Reese Baker. Number 3, Emily Stewart. For Gracie Stanley. Number 5, Emma Schupp. Number 6, Ashton Zigraff. Number 7, Chloe Cook. Number 8, Allison Stewart. Number 9, Mallory Summers. Number 10, Briley Thutton. Number 11, Mason Bowden. Number 12, Cameron Wise. And number 16, Cadence Wood. Then the Lady Raiders, coached by Katie Weir. And assisted by Paige Williamson and Lindy Davis.
Let's go, Maggie!
So, the day has finally arrived. The time is finally here. And it's about time to get down to business here from Raider Gymnasium. So Wapahani will draw back to have the first serve of the season. All right, folks, here we go. Reese Baker back there to serve. Dug out, down with the setup. They'll knock that one home. The first point out here for the Lady Eagles. Subbing in now for Delaware, number 3, Tynan Bushman. She'll drop back to serve. Ball down by Stewart. Stewart with the setup. Summers. Puts it down and play for a kill, and it's tied at 1. Now we'll see number 12, Cameron Wise, now in here for the first time this season. Willie Smith back to serve. Dug out there, mishandled. And a free ball action. Summers bringing some heat right there, but didn't get enough others. That one lands out of bounds. 2-1 double lead.
Let's go, Maggie!
So Maggie Manor now serving for the Eagles. 2-1 lead here in set number 1. Wise on the attack. And we're going to have a no violation called on Delta. Again, tied once again at 2 as number 5, Emma Schupp. She's her first action of the evening. Allie Stewart back to serve. Dog out there, Derringer sets it up there to Hunt. Mishandled there momentarily. Summers back on the attack again. Derringer gets there. It's going to land out of bounds. Play for the Raiders. Kill for Summers. And the Raiders with a 3-2 lead. So again, Stewart back to serve. Oh, Derringer gets that one away. Summers is looking for the ball there. End up setting it back here to shot. Smith now kicks to the back row there by Allie Stewart out of bounds. Tied now at 3 is number 5, Sammy Herron will come in here for the Lady Eagles. We got a very, very nice crowd on here on both sides. Again, home and season opener of the 2019 year. Excited to get things underway and excited to be back on the broadcast right here with you. It's always nice to have my good old buddy and partner in crime, Redbeard. A dynamic duo, if you will. Set there to Wise, and looking at the first minute of her career right there. It's a 4-3 Wapahani lead. So Mallory Summers back to serve. Up with the dig. Gary will get over there in time. With 3-ball action. Here we go. Stewart. Wise. Oh, finding a beauty right there. A well-placed ball there by Stewart and well executed there by the captain, Cameron Wise. Manor does it. Herringer now back to Hunt. Sends it out into the net. And now the Rays have built a 3-point lead. Another fine serve by Summers. Near ace. As Della will get it back over. Stewart with a nice step there. That's going to land in play. And they're going to call Wapahani for a lift. So now a 6-4 ball game, number 12. Maddie Smith now comes in here for the Lady Eagles. Up back to Stewart. Smith with it in. Stewart sets it. Summers gets it across here. Dug by Manning. Blocked by Wise. And they're going to say that was 4 on Della. For the sake of time, we'll just agree with that. But I think Wise might have stuffed it as well.
Yeah, she touched the ball.
A 7-4 lead. And they're going to call a net violation on Della, which is Brett Calder, Bobby Boyle. And down referee makes the call, sounds filthy on top. There's the officials. Fortunate save. Kick on the attack for another violation called on Della. And the Raiders trying to ride the momentum get moving. 9-4 lead. And now we're going to have a timeout taken by Delta. Again, 9-4. Wapahani leads a step aside again. This is the WHS Network. We'll be back for that position. All right, folks, welcome back again following the timeout. It's a 9-4 lead here for Wapahani. Early still here, set number 1 of the evening. So, again, Wise out of the timeout, back to serve for Wapahani. Nice serve right there, very close to the net. Summers, Stewart, Cook, rides the fine line and out of bounds. Now, the point there will go to the Eagles as we see number 4. Gracie Gibson returned to the Lady Eagle lineup. Number 9, Kendra Kiesling back to serve. Smith with it in. There's Stewart, sets it. Cook putting it down. And they're going to call off a flutter. 10-5 lead. Subbing back in here for the Lady Rays. Number 3, Emily Stewart. She'll come in for Emma Shocking. Will be back to serve. Dug out by Manners, set up, put across there, number 12, Smith. An 11-5 lead, Wapahani, set number 1 of the night. Stewart still back to serve. Dug out there by Heron. Daringer tried to find a setup there with number 4, Gibson. But missed time's up. And created a miscue there. It's a 12-5 Raider lead. I have got to say, I mean, it's still early. But within these first 12, even 17 points, we count doubles. I really, really like what I'm seeing here from these Lady Raiders. A lot of communication, a lot of talent, and that's a good old-fashioned stuff in there from Chloe Cook. 13-5 Wapahani. Dug out there, set up. And Smith unable to handle that one. A kill right there for Maddie Smith. As Ainsley Griswold will return to action for the Lady Eagles, and Bella Daring will back to serve.
Let's go, Belle!
High surge right there, surge right into the net. Unfortunate error there for Bell. A great thing there for Wapahani as we look to continue to push this momentum and push this lead even further. 8-point lead right now. Still a little ways to go. Nice floater save there from Baker. And putting down with some authority there is Grismore. So Dishman back at it here for the Lady Eagles, down 14-7 early. There's Emily Stewart, now to Allie Stewart, now Chloe Cook back on the attack. Daringer, back to Grismore once again, tipped up in the air. Set to Summers, and out of bounds. Summers still trying to find that little niche right now. Got a couple of hitting errors throughout this first set here so far, nothing major, but hopefully she can get on track here, and it's a fine one landing. Beautifully done. Well-placed ball. And back to a 7-point lead as Cameron Wise returns to ash, and Olivia Smith back in here to serve for Wapahani. Hunt with a dig, and Daringer set to Hunt. And she hits that nearly to the moon on that one. Plenty of power. Get the old flick of the wrist and get it down in play. Manor back to Daringer. Grismore back on the attack. The dog out there by Olivia Smith. Set this time back to Summers. Still hit that one in the net. 16-9. Now is the score with number 9, Kendra Keasley, in for the Eagles, and Maggie Manor back to serve. Quick set there to Wise, a well-executed ball. Emma Sharp returns to action as Allie Stewart will now be back to serve. 17-9. Wapahani here in set number 1 of the evening. Again, we appreciate you all for joining us here tonight. First broadcast of the year, of many more to come. Smith with the beat. Stewart sets it. Summers. They get it blocked, but right back at it go the Raiders. Shuck with a nice ball there. Grismore with a soft tip. Summers back on the power again. Here we go, Summers. Tipped up in the air. Daniel keeps it alive. Grismore gets it across. Summers lays back at the that's Stewart that laid out for that. So some good action here on this point. Shot. Trying to sneak it in there, but Daniel had other ideas. And then miscommunication. The Eagles right there, big time. And it's 18-9 Wapahani. We've had a packed house out here for Raider Gymnasium. Derringer with a set to Grismore. Shot there to dig it out. Nice hit, and Manor with the dig there. Hunt on the attack. And that will land in there for a point. Miscommunication cost the Raiders on that one. It's number 5, Sammy Herod. Sub back in here for the Lady Eagles, down by 8. A little more than 3/4 the way this first set. And that will be a kill for number 9, Peasley. A freshman here for the Lady Eagles. They have a couple of freshmen. Also, right around 2 or 3 sophomores. A few juniors there, about 5 juniors. And then also, I think 3 or 4 seniors makes up this Delta roster. Into the net. Hunt is just continuing to struggle here in this first set. Just trying to get legs underneath her here a little bit. Because I'm telling you what, a heck of a player she is. But has yet to get really anything going, which is a good thing here for Wapahani. So Mellor Summers back here to serve with a 8-point lead set to Hunt. And that's going to be blocked out of bounds off the hands of Wapahani. Maddie Smith returns to action. And Hunt back to serve. Smith, Stewart, Wise, and that's going to be a net violation all the Raiders. So, you let them get a couple points right here, but you gotta get this stopped right here, right now, if you're Wapahani. Can't afford to let them go on any kind of run, let them get any kind of momentum going. That was off the hands of, I'm assuming that was off of Cameron Wise to make it a 19-14 game. Timeout taken here by the Raiders. And we'll go ahead and step aside as well. Again, 19-14 first set action here from Raider Gymnasium. We'll be back with more on the WHS Network. Folks, welcome back. Again, following the timeout, and again, it's a 5-point lead now for Wapahani, up 19-14. Molly Hunt back to serve. Putting out of the timeout here by Wapahani. Smith stays with it right there, still with a set up the shot. And hit into the net, and footwork now that the Eagles are trying right back into it. It was an 18-10 Wapahani lead. And no quit here in the Eagles. Didn't expect them to, that's for sure. Very athletic group of young ladies here. Summers with the dig. Stewart sets it back up to Baker. Dug out there by Manor. Philip Derringer. And that's set up that time. And another point for the Eagles is that they're willing to make their kick with Maddie Smith. She's done some more nice things so far here this evening. I think at one time this was actually a 9-point lead at 18-9. And things have gotten very interesting. Now only a 2-point lead for Wapahani.
Let's go, Mom! Keep it up! We're right here! Keep it up!
Still back to serve. Baker to Stewart. Now Wise. And that was good in there for the kill for Cameron Wise. So finally, things come to a halt there, but a nice run there by the Eagles. Gets them right back into the thick of things. Wise back to serve. Chloe Cook now in there as well. Smith on the attack. There's Wise to dig it. Stewart with a setup, and Baker just a little free ball action over the net. Kill right there goes to Kendrick Easley of Delta.
Let's go, Kendrick!
Steady
Right
back
here,
to
keep it
serve.
up, let's go!
Also now in here, Gracie Gibson of the Eagles. So some miscommunication really wasn't much of a factor. About a good majority of this set. Last few points here, these Lady Raiders have definitely having a little bit more of a communication problem. So Delta's formed all the way back to tie this thing up at 20. And we will take a timeout here on the WHS Network. Again, 20 all here from Rainier Gymnasium. We'll be back after this. Folks, welcome back here again. Tied now, 20 coming out of the timeout there by Wapahani. The Lady Raiders have fallen a little bit hard times, but let's see if they can regather themselves, dust themselves off here, and get back to what got them to be successful throughout the majority of this first set. Cook on the attack there. Smith kept it alive. Hunt now on the attack. Still hit that one kind of down, so it's a 21-20 lead now for Wapahani. Emily Stewart returns. And she'll be back to serve. Manning there with a Daringer with a setup and another mistimed set and jump right there by Daringer and Gibson. Possible point there. You've got to use that as to your advantage right there for Wapahani. And that's a little bit of a momentum killer there. That one served into the net, 22-21, as Grismore returns here for Delta. And Daringer will be back to serve.
Let's go, B!
Stewart to Stewart, now to Cook. This hit there, tied now at 22.
Let's go! Let's go! Wait, I forgot that. Let's go, B!
Set up there to Cook. Grismore there. Maddie Smith back on the attack. Here's Olivia Smith gets things up the air. Baker. That was dug out by Hunt. Now Grismore again on the attack. Dug out. Oh, here we go. Got to use this. And that's going to be 2 hits. A little surprised that we didn't use the rescue there by Delta. Just tipped it up in the air and over the net. Delta did, and then tried to be a little too quick on it. Ended up getting 2 hits home. And Cook coming out of nowhere. Saying that so fast. 23. Summit setting it on opening night. Barringer now to Grismore. Smith will take it backwards. And this will be set point here for the Eagles. Number 3, Dishman back in here for the Eagles. Back to serve here. Hopefully, for their sake, looking for that almighty set point. For Wapahani, just looking to keep things alive. And serve into a net crucial area there. Back out 24. Wise back in for Wapahani. Olivia Smith back to serve. Summers will get it over. Hunt back on the attack. Very nice ball right there by Austin Stewart. Recognizing the situation and where the defense was. That was a great job all the way around the ball there by Wapahani. Keeping the ball in the air, staying together, communication. So here we are, set point now for Wapahani. Manor with the barrier now to Grismore. And now it's tied at 25. So Kendra Keesley setting back in for Bella. Maggie Manor to serve. Tied here at 25 in set number 1. Smith, Stewart to Wise. We go back to Hunt. Summers on the prowl. Didn't get anything there. Summers again. Put up in the air. And keeps it alive. And here we go again. That has worked out something beautiful there for Cameron Wise tonight. That quick set executed perfectly again by the likes of Stewart and Wise. So another timeout, this time by Delta. So neither team with a timeout left in this first set. And we'll go ahead and stick right here with you during this timeout. So again, the Lady Raiders will be back at it on August the 27th. They'll be traveling to Blue River. That'll be the second game of the year. Then we've got Westville to follow that. So some big conference games right here the first part of the season. You've got a big game here against Delta. A couple big games there with Blue River and Westville to open up the conference season. So just some upcoming games to really look forward to here if you're all of you Wapahani fans out there. And looking toward right now, it's a 26-25 first set lead here for Wapahani. And that's good. And the Raiders hit it. 27-25 in a first set thriller. Oh boy, that sets up for an even better rest of the game right here, folks. We got it all coming right here for you on the WHS Network. We'll be back with more right after this break. welcome back here, folks. Again, man, we're going to get alongside here with me as cameraman Jordan up here. McCoy. We hope you all enjoyed that first set of action here. I'll tell you what a first set that was. A heck of a turn of events, really. If you really get down to things, you had an 18-9 lead here by Wapahani. And, you know, you got to give a lot of credit to the Delta. They came storming back. And, I mean, obviously you didn't think they would be going away anytime soon anyway. Just due to, you know, what we've seen in years past. Obviously, you know, from the coach's reputation, I know what Whitney can bring to the table. So, you know, that's the biggest thing here for them is them keep coming out here, playing hard, playing together. But Wapahani didn't let them have their way too long. Was able to sneak away a win there. So really looking forward to this set number 2 coming up right here. So a 1-set lead early here in this one here from Raider Gymnasium. And that was landed there for a kill, 1-0 Wapahani. So Reese Banker back to serve. Dug out there, set to Grismore, blocked by Cook. And a point there for the Raiders. That was hit out of bounds. So again, Baker back here to serve with a 2-0 Raider lead. And that one served into the net now, making a 2-1 ball game. Looks like Maggie Manor will be back to serve here for the Delta Eagles. Set up there to Cook, blocked. Back at it, Stewart now to Summers. Popped up in the air, Smith will keep it alive, and Stewart will get it over. Allison Stewart, that is. And there will be seems like Kendra Beasley on the attack. Again, this game now tied at 2. Summers back on the attack there. Manor with it in. Derringer now to Hunt. Smith with the big there. Thunder blocked there by Molly Hunt. Wins and a point here for Delta to take a 3-2 lead. Served out of bounds. To tie this game up at 3, Cameron Wise back into the Raider lineup. Olivia Smith now back to serve. Geringer sets it up and hit out of bounds by Beasley as the Raiders will now take a 1-point lead. And Smith again back to serve. Hunt with a dig. Geringer sets it. Puts it down and a crosser by Grismore. With a nice dig there by Baker. Summers back on the attack. Back to Grismore once more. Hit out of bounds. 5-3 Wapahani. Geringer sets it to Hunt. Nice hand. Summers keeps it alive. Baker will get it over. A little 3-ball action for the Eagles. Set back to Hunt once more. Tipped over and down in play. 5-4 after a well-executed play there by Molly Hunt. Number 2, Molly Tuttle. And now come back in here for Delta. Baker digs it. Stewart for Wise. Set over his head right there. Now a tie game here at 5. Then set number 2 of the evening. There's Emily Stewart now to Allie Stewart. Summers, soft touch over the net, down in there. A kill there for Mallory Summers to make it a 6-5 lead for Wapahani. Emma Shuckback in here for Wapahani. And Allison Stewart back to serve. And Gillinger tipped it over. Summers, not a whole lot you can do about that one. As again, this game once again tied. Now at 6. Sammy Heron in for the Eagles. Molly Hunt back to serve. Good action here. Smith will get two. He's going to put it back over. Point again there for your Lady Raiders down 6 ball game. Stewart still back to serve. Hunt will dig it out there, and not a very good pass there by Hunt. Set to Wise, mishandled by Tuttle. And little Cameron Wise is on fire here this evening. It's good to see these young ladies come out here from the get-go and get something going for themselves. 9-7 after the serving here by Allison Stewart. As we see number 12, Maddie Smith back in for Delta, and serving will be number 9, Kendra Peasley. And that's served out of bounds. An error there by the Eagles. Possible point. And a brief pause in the action here for a lineup check. So I guess while we have some time here, I'd like to thank some of our sponsors here this evening. I'd like to thank B. Joseph Davis, attorney at law, located at 400 East Jackson Street in Muncie, Indiana. At the law offices of B. Joseph Davis, which is a highly recommended respected professional corporation extracted aggressively represent all the clients' interests in all phases of any legal matter. So again, that is B. Joseph Davis, attorney at law. This proud sponsor here is WHS Network. Kill there for Maddie Smith of Delta. Ainsley Grismore back in here for the Lady Eagles, and Bella Barrier back to serve. Another referee get together here. We'll go ahead and pause here just for a brief moment. Okay, so it looks like, at least for a moment, we might have possibly found out the reason why we was having a little timeout here, but now it seems like there might be some more confusion again. So I'll just be quite frank with you. I'm not even sure what in the world was going on. I don't know what the issue was, but nevertheless, it looks to be solved. Still not a whole lot of action going on. But now it looks like we get back to volleyball. And again, Bella Daringer back to serve in a 10-8 lead for Wapahani in set number 2. And a miscue there by Wapahani will give a point there for Delta to make it a 10-9 ball game. So Emily Stewart back to serve. Right there with the miscue. Now makes it 12-9 ball game. All right, ladies and gentlemen, just want to let you all know, I guess we've been told that we're having some trouble by people that can hardly hear us. We do have, this is a loud place anyway, quite a few loud fans around us. So we are going to try to figure out this issue and then get back on here. So we are going to stop our broadcast and then get back on here, hopefully very quickly. I'm gonna definitely do my best to do so. But in order to hopefully resolve the issue here, we're going to have to stop the live broadcast and then get back on here and start another live broadcast. So just kind of bear with us. We're not going away forever. But we do have, I guess, some audio issues to where people cannot hear us. So we just want to let all of you know so then you're not wondering what's going on. So again, we'll be back on here as soon as we can. Again, 16-10, Wapahani leads here in set number 2. We'll be back after this. Alrighty, welcome back here, folks. Again, hopefully we possibly corrected our audio issue. I'm not sure if we did or not. We apologize for any kind of inconvenience. Like I said, it's very loud in here, so you just kind of bear with us here a little bit. But nevertheless, here it's a 16-12, now 16-13 ball game with Wapahani, again, still in the lead. Nice hands there by Summers. Kept alive. Hunt gets it back across. Now Stewart sets it back to Summers again. And another point here for the Eagles. Manor back there to serve. Stewart sets it. Summers tips it across. Nice hands there by Daringer, but hit out of bounds, and the Raiders will take point number 17 of the night. As Cameron Wise returns to action here for Chloe Cook, Olivia Smith back to serve. Hunt with the dig. Daringer back there to, I think that was number 9, Kiesling, indeed it was. So she's had a real nice evening here. Again, really both teams, we've seen a lot of their youth do very well so far here this evening. Kiesling coming in here as a freshman. Maddie Smith, we've seen quite a bit of her as well here this evening. She's a sophomore. So both teams really, looking even past this season, have definitely have some nice pieces here to be successful, as that is served out of bounds point there for Wapahani. As we'll see number 5, Emma Schuck, back in here for Wapahani. And Allie Stewart now back to serve. And that's going to be an ace for the Raiders. 19-16 Wapahani. Missile serve there from Stewart, set to Hunt, and there ain't anybody going to get to that one. As that one now make it 19-17. If you are just now joining us, Wapahani took set number 1, 27-25, and they currently have a 2-point advantage here in set number 2, with Molly Hunt back to serve. Baker digs it out, shot, now to Wise, and that will be hit out of bounds. And now the lead is down to 1. Smith digs it. Stewart sets it. Summers tips it across. Nice pass there from Tuttle. Propped up in the air. Stewart now over to Summers. Banner with the dig. Great job, Smith, getting to that ball and miss-hit there by number 9, Kiesling. Again, that's a 2-point lead for Wapahani as we get closer and closer to that magic number of 25 here for both teams. Dug out by Hunt. Heron will get it across. There's Summers. Wise will free ball action now for the Eagles. Daringer back there to Kiesling. Shock on the attack. Smith will get to it. And once again, free ball for Delta. Let's see what they do with it. And just over the outstretched hands there of Allie Stewart to make it a 20-19 affair. Number 2, Molly Tuttle, returns to action for Delta. And at number 9, Kendra Kiesling back to serve. Smith to Stewart, now to Wise. And again, that quick set to kill has worked very nicely for those two throughout this ball game. And being able to have that chemistry, I'll tell you what, folks, it's really hard to do as there's a timeout taken here by the Eagles. So we'll go ahead and stay right here with you during the timeout. But, being able to mesh, the seniors and the juniors with the sophomores and especially the freshmen, it's tough to do in little time. And so, being able to see, especially there in that first set, when we had a nice lead, Delta came right back, and being able to, to find something within ourselves to not let that game, or at least that set, slip away was big time. And it really showed a lot of maturation, too, just from the simple standpoint of, we really could have folded up shop. It was set point for Delta. And, we bounced back. We stayed together, stayed the course, and trusted one another, and it worked out well for us. All the same here in the second set. Another close game. And, you just got to stick together. Stick together. Obviously, the talent is there, and you just got to put it all together. So we'll see what happens here as this second set dwindles down here with a 21-19 lead here for Wapahani. Tipped over the net, and there's a net violation called on Wapahani. It was going to be a point for the Lady Eagles anyway. But that just definitely confirmed things right there. Back in there for Delta will be Ainsley Grismore, and Daringer back to serve. There's Summers to Stewart to Cook. Bringing something behind that one. Manor will not get it over. Nice hustle, though, by the Eagles. Got to give them a lot of credit on that one. As we'll see Emily Stewart reacclimate herself back into the Raider lineup as she'll be back to serve. Manor with a dig. Daringer now to Grismore. Blocked by Cook. Back to Smith and denied again. That time, Chloe Cook and Allie Stewart on the block. Nice action right there from the ladies. Getting over there, getting the block, and then getting another one right after that. Being on their toes, and that's off the hands of Emily Stewart. In for a point for Delta as Tynan Dishman will return to action here, down by 2 for the Lady Eagles. And miss hit. Unfortunate error there for Wapahani. Cost him a very big point there as Dishman again back to serve here, now only down by 1. Summers digs it out. Stewart now over to Cook. Daringer gets a hands up there in defense mode. Baker stays with it. Stewart back to Cook again. So now a timeout by Wapahani, tied at 23. And again, we'll stay with you right here during the timeout. Again, our game break sponsored by Stoops Automotive Group Buick and GMC Dealership, proud sponsor of us here on the WHS Network. Stoops Automotive Group Buick and GMC Dealership, owned by Randy Stoops. And they're located at 4055 West Clara Lane in Muncie, Indiana. Stoops has a wide variety of brand new and pre-owned vehicles of quality brand names. So if you have an interest in a vehicle, would like to know more information about one, contact Stoops at 765-288-1903 and also visit their online website at stoopsauto.com. Their hours are Monday through Friday, 7:30 a.m. to 5:30 p.m. They're also open Saturday from 8 to 4. So again, a special thanks to Stoops Automotive Group Buick and GMC Dealership. Stoops is driven to be the best. So following the timeout, again, we're tied here at 23 in set number 2. Again, Tynan Dishman back to serve. Summers will dig it out. Stewart will set it up, and Chloe Cook on the attack there. Kept alive. Free ball action for the Eagles this time. Hunt will set it off the arm there of Olivia Smith, and it's set point here for Delta. So 3 consecutive points put together here by the Eagles. Summers back to Stewart. Cook will have that one land out of bounds, and the Eagles will take set number 2 of the evening. So now tied here at 1 set apiece. We will head to the very crucial third set of the match. 27-25 Wapahani, 25-23 Delta. We'll step aside for a break, and we'll be back here with set number 3 live here on the WHS Network. Stop on in at Jones Auto Body, owned by J.R. Fain in the 1901 East Memorial Drive in Muncie, Indiana. Jones Auto Body is one of Muncie's oldest and largest auto repair and paint shops, in which they have been serving the community for over 30 years. Jones Auto Body, assurance of quality. All righty, welcome back here, folks. Again, Brandon Morvillius alongside here with me is cameraman Jordan Redbeard McCoy. We hope you all are enjoying the broadcast a little bit more now. Again, we apologize there for the audio issue that we did have. Again, it's a loud crowd here this evening, and unfortunately, where we sit, we're in the opposing section. And it really wouldn't matter, if we was in the opposing section or in our own section. Fans are going to be loud and proud, and that's great. That's what it should be about. So we do apologize, though, about that as being an issue. But nevertheless, we are tied here at 1 set apiece. 27-25. Wapahani took the first set, then Delta answered back with a 25-23 second set victory. So this third set is going to be a big one. Very decisive set, and can definitely give your team a lot of momentum. In which really Wapahani, I'll just be quite frank with you, Wapahani should definitely be up 2-0 right now. Now, got to give credit where credit's due. Delta has managed to come out here, and they played hard, and no question about that, and gotten themselves in position to where they could have taken that first set as well, and even more recently that second set. But, I think Wapahani might have let them back into things and let them have some life, and that's not what you want to do, especially against teams like Delta. So just got to bounce back from this second set here and get back after it and hopefully get back to our winning ways. So we'll see what happens here, folks, as we are about to be underway here in set number 3 of the evening. Reese Baker was back there to serve here for the Raiders. Molly Hunt on the attack, and that's going to be hit out of bounds. So the Raiders will take the first point here in set number 3 of the evening. Again, a very, very nice crowd here this evening. We appreciate everyone for coming out, and again, we appreciate all you for joining us here this evening, taking some time out of your night to spend some time with us for our first broadcast of the 2019-2020 year. A lot of games coming up throughout the year. Obviously, we cover volleyball, boys and girls basketball, baseball, and softball. So this is one of many, and we're happy to bring it to you. And that's going to be 4 hits called on Delta. So another 2-0 lead to start things here for Wapahani. And this is what you want to see. You want to start building that momentum early and keep the foot on the gas, for heaven's sakes. Because, again, this is a Delta team that you really don't want to be messing around with. You want to get them down and keep them down. And Summers puts it down right there. That was a beautiful segue. Thank you, Mallory. So we'll have a substitution here by the Eagles. Number 3, Tynan Dishman will return to the Eagles lineup. Hunt on the attack there. Nice block up front there by Cook and Summers. And now a net violation called on the Eagles. You got to keep putting it on them there if you're Wapahani. The more or less the kick them while they're down, just like any other opponent would do. Set up to Grismore, kept alive. And nice hustle there by the young ladies, Allison Stewart and Reese Baker. Also Emily Stewart there as well. We sure hope they're all okay, first and foremost. And served into the net right there to make it now a 5-1 ball game. Cameron Wise now in here for the Raiders, and Olivia Smith was back there to serve and an ace, finding that back corner. Worked to perfection right there for senior Olivia Smith. Hunt to Deringer, back to Hunt again, and miscommunication there on behalf of Baker and Smith. Was able to collect a kill there for Molly Hunt. So now Molly Tuttle will come back in here for the Eagles and back to serve. And actually a brief pause in the action here. They had to get some spectators out of the way. The referees didn't like where they were standing at, so that situation was taken care of quickly there. And Summers, great court vision right there. Could have went for the big hammer, but instead just kind of eased up a little bit. A little soft touch over the net, found that back corner to give the Raiders a 7-2 lead. Shuck back in here. There's Stewart with a dig. Smith sets it. Shuck will get it across. There's Maggie Manor. Hunt now on the attack, and again another one landing in that back corner. In this situation, no woman's land, if you will, in between defenders Smith and Baker. So Sammy Heron in here. We have Molly Hunt back to serve. Wise will handle it. Stewart back to Wise off the hands of Manor. So back here to a 5-point lead. Just got to keep on pushing forward. It's been a very exciting night of volleyball to open up this season. Man, Kiesling putting some extra mustard onto that one. So Kiesling right around 6 kills now on the night. Now 9 for Wapahani. Cameron Wise executes right there, and she'll be now back to serve as Chloe Cook returns to the Raider lineup. And off the hands, an ace for the Raiders. 10 for Wapahani. Another nice serve right there, getting it close to that net. And off the hands there of Stewart. So a kill for the Eagles, makes it 10-5. And Daringer back to serve as Grismore returns to the Eagle lineup. Again, coming into tonight's game, a little bit of a new look team on both sides, especially for Wapahani. New look coaching staff on both sides as well, and Chloe Cook sneaks it in along the sideline. Notching another kill, 11-5 Raiders. And Emily Stewart will now drop back to serve. And another ace for Wapahani. This time by Emily Stewart to make it 12-5. Again, this game tied at 1 set apiece. Dug out there by Smith, set right back to her. And Stewart trying to keep it alive, but no prevail. A point there for the Eagles, make it 12-6 ball game. Dishman back in to serve here for the Eagles. Dug out by Summers, set there to Cook, a very close set to the net. Good job right there to do what she could with that ball. Smith back to Stewart. Cook bringing the thunder on that one, but nice pair of hands by Daringer. Now to Baker, Summers, Stewart, back to Cook again, soft touch. And it's going to be a net violation on the Eagles. That was a very nice job, really, on both sides to keep it alive. Some hard hit balls, but then a real nice set there by Stewart and a well-executed ball there by Chloe Cook will give the Raiders a 7-point lead. Stewart with the dig, Summers. Now Smith will free ball action now to Delta. And Hunt puts her stamp of approval on that point. Kiesling back in, Manor back to serve. Down by 6 here in set number 3 is the Eagles. Stewart, Summers, the 3 S's. And that's going to be blocked inbounds. Nicely done there by the Eagles. Stewart now to Cook, blocked again. I want to try something different this time. Dishman with a dig. Daringer sets it over the net. Stewart back to Cook once more, a little high. And no tip called, so point goes to Delta. And this is something you don't want to see happen. As Delta getting on a roll, very close. And they're going to say it was out of bounds. A very close call. His line judge, we're just going to call him out. Eric Stanley made the call on that one. I would not want to be him. I would not want to be any line judge. That is probably the most difficult job there is on the court, to be quite frank with you. I mean, yeah, these two referees, yeah, they have an extremely difficult job as well. But I'll tell you what, as a line judge, if you get something wrong, man, you're going to hear it for the rest of the night. So now a timeout taken here by Delta. 15-9 Wapahani with a 6-point lead in set number 3 of the evening. We'll step aside. We'll be back with more right after this break.
We know the right way to get you where you need to go. We'll be the wheels underneath you, out on the road. We're driven to give you the best service. We're driven cause we know you deserve it. Stoops, we're driven to be the best. Stoops, we're driven to be the best.
All right, welcome back here, folks. Following the timeout here, a 15-9 lead here for Wapahani. Here in the third set, again, this game is tied at 1 set apiece. And if you are just now joining us, the Raiders won the first set 27-25. And the Eagles fired back there in set number 2 with a 25-23 second set victory. So, again, out of the timeout here, Olivia Smith back to serve. Daringer with a setup to Grismore. And, oh, man, that was a nice dig there by Baker, too. But, unfortunately, that violation called on the Raiders. So, Tuttle back in and back to serve for Delta. Baker digs it. Stewart to Summers. Blocked. Kept alive, and nobody will get over there to it. Tell you what, they've had a blocking machine at times throughout the ballgame. Wapahani been the same way. We've seen some good stuff really on both sides. And another well-designed play right there by the Raiders, and a well-executed point by Mallory Summers. Court vision and all right there. Beautifully done. Daringer was able to tip it over just enough and was able to land that one in there for a point. 16-12. Molly Hunt back to serve. Baker to Stewart. Now back to Summers again. Yes, sirree. Precision. Nice to really see Summers have a good game here. Again, the only true returning hitter here for Wapahani. Second on the team in kills last year. So Maddie Smith back in there. And now Kendra Kiesling serving. Smith with a dig. Stewart to Wise. Yes. Off the hand of Hunt. 18-13 Wapahani. Chloe Cook back in the action for the Raiders, and Cameron Wise back to serve. Hunt tips it over. That might have been over the net. Indeed it will be. So over the net there, called on Molly Hunt, point for the Raiders to make it 19-13. And keep the line of moving. If you're Wapahani, Daringer on the attack. Nice dig right there from Allie Stewart. Summers gets it across with some nice spin. Wise digs it. Cook now to Summers. Hunt with the dig that time around. Passed off to Daringer. Cook had a little force behind that one. Now to Hunt, and off the hand of Cook in there for a kill for Molly Hunt. 19-14. Grismore in here for Delta. And serving will be Bella Daringer. Baker digs it out, set to Cook. Yes! Well-placed ball right there. Great set, great pass there by Baker. And a setup there by Stewart allowed Cook to do her thing right there, cooking the ball down. 20-14 and a serving error. Makes it 20-15. Dishman back in here. I'm going to have to find something really nice to say when Cook gets a good kill like that. We have to come up with something. I got a whole season to come up with stuff, so this is only the first game, folks. You got to kind of bear with me a little bit. Some things might be slightly cheesy, but we're just getting back into things. You got to knock the rust off first. And we'll have a timeout taken by Delta. So we'll go ahead and stay right here with you during the timeout. Again, I'd like to thank some more of our sponsors here this evening. The Liberty Perry Alumni Association, President Richard Morse. Liberty Perry Alumni Association serves as the Wapahani Center and Selma High School alumni. Make sure to visit their online website at www.libertyperryalumni.com to get information on any events and to purchase any Wapahani-related items on their web store. Also to purchase engraved bricks for the Alumni Brick Walkway. That is a big, big thing here for Wapahani. The Liberty Perry Alumni Association set that up a couple years ago right outside, out front of Wapahani High School. They have an Alumni Brick Walkway. Go on the homepage, fill out the form that's on there, and you can get a brick out here right along with everyone else. So any other information, you can contact Richard Morris on Facebook. So again, a special thanks to the Liberty Perry Alumni Association. Following the timeout, a 21-15 Wapahani lead. We have number 2 Reese Baker back to serve. Hunt with a dig, and Daringer sets it up for Hunt. Man, I'll tell you what, that was real nice there by Smith. But unfortunately, again, another net violation. We've had 2 really good ones here within the last 5 or 6 points. But unfortunately, been spoiled by net violations. Emily Stewart with a dig there. Allie Stewart sets it to Cook. Ooh, that was dangerously close. They're going to say... Okay, yeah, they're going to say it's out of bounds. I thought for a second it might have been tipped, but no tip called, and it's held a point. So 21-17. Stewart to Summers. Triple S. Summers again, bringing the hammer. 22-17 Raiders. So Cameron Wise back in, Smith to serve, and that is into the net. That is very unfortunate there for Wapahani. You had all the momentum in the world right there, and you cannot afford to give anything back to the hands of the Eagles. Smith Stewart, Summers. Well executed again. Left it wide open right over there. Of course, you have the floor broken down in quadrants, if you will. And that was just another well-executed ball there by Summers. Hunt on the attack off the hands, trying to be kept alive there by Wise and Summers, but couldn't keep it up there enough, and that will be another kill for Hunt. Baker, Smith, Summers, tip. There's Heron over there in time. Now to Daringer on the attack. Shuck will prop it up in the air. Set to Summers and out of bounds. Come on now, ladies. And another miss hit by Wapahani. And back come the Eagles. It's right there, and that's been a little bit of a problem I've noticed, at least through these first two sets, and essentially in some ways now 3 sets. It's still not over with, but being able to put the team away. Okay, you've gotten now to the threshold. Now it's just time to, really just finish the job here. Because you're right here at 23. You only need 2 more points. Now, again, you got to credit Delta, and there's no question about that. Because they're continuing to fight and claw their way, and not that they've been out of it by any means here in this 3rd set. But, we had them down, and, from Wapahani's standpoint, you've got to put them away. Especially if you're going to beat any kind of good team, when you have a lead, you've got to find a way to not only keep the lead, but push the lead even further and put your opponent away. And Wapahani's had a little bit of a tough go of it here. Yeah, we still have some points to go, but we've got to regroup now, coming out of this timeout. Regroup and understand the task at hand here, and that is finishing this game the right way. So Molly Hunt back to serve. Here's Wise, the Stewart, and Summers will get it over. Tuttle now to Hunt. Set to Daringer. Nice job there by Baker, keeping it alive. Set to Summers. And a point there for Wapahani. All right, so now it's just time to finish it. You got 24-21. Just time to settle things here. Can't continue to let the Eagles, fly here in this 3rd set, because they can make things extremely interesting very quickly. This is too good of a team to really mess around with. So here we are at set point. And a big miscue, and the Raiders will take the 3rd set, 25-21. That's a big set right there for Wapahani to win. Very, very big. We'll now head to the 4th set here, folks. Again, the Raiders now with a 2-1 lead over the Eagles. We'll step aside for a break. Again, we'll be back with more Raider Volleyball here on the WHS Network.
You need legal advice or representation, you can trust B. Joseph Davis, attorney at law in Muncie. Our focus is personal injury. We handle cases involving serious injuries, wrongful deaths, all vehicle crashes, nursing home cases, medical product and drug recalls, and slips, trips, and falls. No fee until we win. We offer evening, weekend, home, and hospital appointments for your convenience. Contingency fee arrangements are available. For a free consultation, call B. Joseph Davis, attorney at law, today.
Stop on in at Jones Auto Body, owned by J.R. Payne in the 1901 East Memorial Drive in Muncie, Indiana. Jones Auto Body is one of Muncie's oldest and largest auto repair and paint shops, in which they have been serving the community for over 30 years. Jones Auto Body, assurance of quality.
All right, welcome back here, folks. Again, we appreciate you all for joining us here for Lady Raider Volleyball on the WHS Network. It's a 2-set-to-1 lead. We're going to be heading into the 4th set here momentarily. As you can see there on your screen, Wapahani took set number 1, 27-25. Delta answered back in the second set with 25-23 victory. And then the Raiders came storming right back there in set number 3, 25-21. So, now you got some momentum back on your side. Again, you've got to keep the foot on the gas. This is a part of the game where, now obviously Delta has to win, 2 consecutive sets to win this thing. And Wapahani, has got to be obviously feeling good about themselves and where they are right now. But don't start getting complacent. You've got to still get after it just as much now as more than ever. Because you want to finish this game and you want to get it done as quickly as possible. And Delta obviously is having other ideas. So, we've had a great night of volleyball here so far. Hopefully it can continue to be that way here in set number 4. As we get things started here, Hunt on the attack. Nice job there getting the hands up there by by Summers, pardon me. Set to Cook. Kill there for Chloe, and it's a 1-0 Raider lead. The Stewarts to Cook. Now Hunt again, dug out by Smith, and a net violation. Tied at 1. Grismore back in for the Eagles. And then we'll see Tuttle also back in here, and she'll be back to serve. Stewart with a set up to Summers. Manor will dig it out, and now a net violation by Delta. So point goes there to Wapahani, 2-1. Wise back in action for the Raiders. Set to Grismore, off the hands there of Emily Stewart. And out of bounds, 2-2 ball game. I think that kill was for Grismore right there. Kiesling returns to action for the Eagles. And Maggie Manor now back to serve. Smith with a dig. Stewart will set it up to Wise. Now to Summers. Ooh, kept up in the air, but nobody unable to get there in time. So a nice block there by the Eagles on that try. Good idea there by Stewart, just unfortunately wasn't able to execute it, but definitely had a very good idea. That would have caught Delta off guard right there. 4-2 Eagles. Baker to Summers. And now to Wise, and a couple of miscues later now, and we're down 5-2 here in the 4th set. And head coach Katie Weir like to take some time to discuss things in this 4th set. So during this time, again, we'd like to thank more of our sponsors here this evening. FC Tucker, Muncie Realtors, Ted Cook, and Joanne Davis. Let Ted and Joanne be the key to all of your real estate needs. buying, selling, or investment properties, we get the job done. So make sure to call Ted Cook at 765-744-8143 and Joanne Davis at 765-748-1316. Again, that is FC Tucker, Muncie Realtors, Ted Cook, and Joanne Davis. Also, I'd like to thank Muncie Dragway, owned by Scott and Dawn Daniels. The Muncie Dragway located along State Road 67 west of Albany, Indiana. For more information and upcoming events, visit their website at www.munciedragway.com. Again, that is Muncie Dragway, family fun, an 8th mile at a time. So following the timeout here by Wapahani, we have Maggie Manor back to serve for the Eagles. Baker to dig it out. Stewart with a setup to Summers. Nice layout there by Tuttle to keep it going. And now Molly Hunt answers with a kill. So far, so good there for Delta, as they have gotten things a-rolling here in this fourth set. Not so much so far here for Wapahani. Nice job, Cameron Wise, getting up in the air. Tipping it down in play for Wapahani for a kill 6-3 lead now for the Eagles. Stewart back to serve. And that will be an ace for Allie Stewart. Off the arm there of Hunt. Another ace again for Allison Stewart. Making it a 6-5 ball game. Again, still a very nice crowd here on hand here this evening. Not too many people's left as we near the 9 o'clock hour. And a third consecutive ace. Also want to credit the Wapahani student section here tonight as well. It's a blackout here this evening. Very nice student section. Great to see them come out, support their school, support their team, and show a little school pride out there. So great to see them here with us this evening as the Raiders have rattled off 4 consecutive. Actually, you can make that 5, yeah, 4 consecutive. I think that's right. And some perspiration on the floor, so they're getting that all wiped up on the floor. Again, the next game here for Wapahani, just little information here. The Raiders will be back at it on August the 27th as they will be traveling to Blue River to take on the Lady Vikings. That's a JV start time of 6 o'clock, varsity game to follow. So that will be our next game coming up a week from today. Hunt with a soft touch over the net, and the Raiders unable to really put anything on that one. Get it back up in the air and possibly get themselves some kind of point, but nevertheless, Molly Hunt will be back to serve in this tie ball game. Free ball action here for the Eagles. Hunt with a setup to Daringer, and that's off the hand of Shuck. As Delta will now retake the lead 8-7. Smith gets to it, but that will be an ace for Hunt to make it a now 2-point lead. Baker to Stewart, now to Summers, tipped right back to her by Daringer. A very dangerous position to put your hitter into right there. Set very close to the net. Obviously, everybody, all hands on deck. They're on Delta's side of things, ready to block it right back down, and unfortunately, that's exactly what happened. And Wise skips it over the top of the net, down in play. Don't always have to look pretty, and those are really almost some of the best ones because it completely throws the defense off. So executed point there for the Raiders. Gets them now within 2. Tuttle digs it. Set up there by Hunt, and that was going to be, it was 4 hits. Would have been blocked anyway right there, but now a 10-9 ball game. Summers still back to serve. Daringer tips it across. Here's Stewart, and nobody after that. A little lack of communication there. Also, didn't mention this. She just came in a moment ago. But Briley Felton now in the ball game here for the Lady Raiders, seeing her first action here of the night. Baker, Summers, Felton will get it over. And Daringer smashing and thrashing with that ball, a 12-9 lead as Shuck will re-enter their Lady Raider lineup down here by 3. And Tynan Dishman to serve. Baker, Stewart, Wise, off the hand of Hunt, in there for a kill. And the Raiders with point number 10 now in the 4th set. And Wise will serve that one out of bounds. Unforced error there, and unfortunately gets the Eagles 1 point closer there. Now 13-10 lead. And number 9, Kendrick Kiesling back to serve. Summers to Stewart, now on over to Cook. Off the hand there of Hunt. Nice job keeping things going there, and Smith will hit it straight into the net. Another hitting error will cost Delta a point there, as Emily Stewart will now reacclimate herself into the Raider lineup for Emma Shuck. Hunt will set it up to Daringer. There's Summers. Set now to Baker. Dishman gets over there in time. Nice hands there for Emily Stewart that time around. Hunt with another setup. Maddie Smith. Summers from the back row. Manor now with a dig. And that is in there. Tell you what, old Andy Zitgraff, the other line judge, took a beating right there. We hope he's all right. Stewart with a setup, and that's going to be free ball here for Delta. Oh, wow. Rode along the line. Able to sneak it in. 15-11, Delta. Set up now to Baker, and hey, she said anything you can do, I can do better. As Baker sneaks one along the line and down in play along the sideline over there. 15-12 with Baker back to serve. Nice floater serve there. Daringer with a setup to Hunt. Blocked. Not sure if that was by Cook or who that was. That is going to be off the hand of Cook that time and out of bounds to make it a 16-12 lead for Delta. Molly Tuttle back in. Dug out there. Stewart keeps it going, and a very nice setup. Well hit there by Summers, as that was off the hand of Gibson. Cameron Wise comes back in. And Grismore back in for Delta. Nice serve there from Smith. Hunt on the attack. And that's going to be off of Baker. 17-13 Eagles. This is about the time where you need to start, if you're Wapahani, that is, start getting things in gear here a little bit. You know, you're starting to see this set dwindle down a little bit more. You gotta kick it into high gear and not only get this thing back to even, but hopefully get yourself in the lead. A Shuck returns, and Allie Stewart back to serve. Derringer sets it up there to Hunt, and that's off the hand there of Summers. So one thing you definitely can't do, as Redbeard was just alluding to there, you couldn't hear him, but one thing you can't afford to do here if you're Wapahani is go point for point, because obviously that ain't going to work. That was another well-executed ball, finding that back corner, and sneaks it in there for a kill there for the Raiders. And again, now 18-15, but now is when you got to start rattling off points in a row if you're the Raiders. Got to use this right here. Manor there with a dig, set up to Derringer, blocked, and sure, a lift. Yep, a lift call will be made by the officials to make it 18-16. So as I was just saying, you got to keep rattling off points in a row here. Hunt with a setup to Derringer, out of bounds. Nice job there by Olivia Smith, playing a little duck and cover there. And now a timeout for Delta, and we'll take a timeout here with them. 18-17, Delta leads here in the fourth set. All right, folks, welcome back here again. A four-set thriller here so far. 18-17 is the score. And I tell you what, it's just been, obviously, like I said, one of those games, folks, where, and we expected that. I mean, these two teams, have played so many years together and so many great games against one another. Throughout the year, and obviously the names and the faces change, but the competitiveness still remains. So again, following the timeout here, 18-17, Delta leads, and that's going to hit the old antenna, first one of the night right there. We've usually already had at least 3 or 4 of those by now. So this game is now tied up at 18. Nice serve there from Summers, and some communication mishap right there by Delta. Allows the Raiders to get back on top here by 1. Got to keep it rolling. Hunt tips it over. Stewart sets it back across here. Here we go. Now to Grismore. Summers right there laying out for it. Now to Wise and into the net. So many times that's worked out. Unfortunately, didn't work out that time around. But we're tied at 19. Dishman back to serve here for Delta. Set up to Baker. Daringer on the attack and another kill. I'll tell you what, she's had a real nice game for herself as well. Quietly, if you will. She's kind of flown under the radar, but especially here in this fourth set, we've seen her in more of a hitting role and not so much of a setting role like she was the first 3 sets. Shuck on the attack that time. Manor lays out for it. Oh, here we go. Nicely done. Allison Stewart sets it right over the net, tied at 20. So Cameron Wise back to serve. Chloe Cook now in here. And I'll tell you what, folks, it is a hot one out here, so I'm not surprised, with these ladies sweating and so on and so forth, diving after the volleyball. I mean, it's a warm one in here, and an ace for Wise. 21-20. And we got to wipe the floor again. All right, so after the laundry duty there, back to volleyball. Hunt will get called a 2 hits. And now another timeout taken by the Eagles. And we will stick right here with you during the timeout. Again, this is our Stoops Automotive Group Buick and GMC dealership game break. Again, as I was mentioning earlier, Wapahani will play their second game of the year, as you just seen there on their screen, on August 27th, so next Tuesday, at Blue River. A very big game there, as they will be traveling to Blue River to take on the Lady Vikings for their first conference game of the year. And then 2 nights later on Thursday night, which would be the 29th, I believe, we will be at home against Westdale in another conference game. And then the Wapahani Invitational after that. That's on a Saturday. So some very big games next week. You have at Blue River, at home against Westdale on Thursday, and then Wapahani Invitational the following Saturday. So not this Saturday, but next Saturday. And an ace again for Cameron Wise. And it's 23-20. So now substitutions. We'll see Heron back in here for Delta. And that's going to be served out of bounds. So now make it 23-21. We'll have number 9, Kendra Kiesling, serving for Delta. Summers digs it out. Set up to Cook. There's Hunt. Daringer will get there in time. Back to Hunt again. Smith with a dig. Stewart sets it over the net. Tipped and blocked by the Cook. Chloe Cook. Oh, heck yes. 24-21, and this is match point. Emily Stewart now in the ball game, and she'll be back to serve. As the Raider crowd is on their feet. And a rotation violation, and the Raiders are going to win it. That's a heck of a way to win it, but we'll win it any way you can give it to us. And that's a final score, folks. The Raiders win it in 4 sets here tonight. A very, very big opening season victory here at home against the Delta Eagles. Again, under the new tutelage of Katie Weir and Lindy Thomas and Paige Williamson. Lindy Davis, that is. Forgot she got married. So, nevertheless, a great win here tonight here for Wapahani. We'll step aside for a break. We'll have our Raiders Live post-game report coming up right after this break. All righty, welcome back here, ladies and gentlemen, for the Raiders Live post-game report presented by Stoops Automotive Group, Buick and GMC dealership. As your Wapahani Lady Raiders here on the smiling side of the scoreboard to open up the 2019 season with a 4-set victory over the Delta Eagles. Again, we'll break it down here set by set. As you can see on your screen, Wapahani took the first set 27-25. Delta answered right back with a 25-23 second set victory. Then the Raiders answered right back there with 2 consecutive set victories, third and fourth set, 25-21 both sets for a very big win to open up the year. I can't express that enough. You know, I've talked about, a couple different times and how, you have a new coaching staff in here, new beliefs, new ideas, a new way of doing things. Which is great. There's nothing wrong with that whatsoever. And it's really essentially a whole new team. This team really didn't have a lot of returning players. We ended up having, I think, 8 returning players. Some of those played JV last year. And, so having some of them back, and coming out here and then seeing what they can do at this level, which was really nice. But then considering what we lost last year, you don't have a Stella Davis anymore, no Haven Gates, no Sarah Orm. That's big, and that was a big part of our offense. And defense essentially. Haven Gates was the same way from everything in the aspect of she was so big defensively for us, and then to lose that, and then 2 of your biggest offensive firepowers in Davis and Orm. You look at this year's team thinking, what are we going to have? And I know we talked about that on our preview show about a week and a half or so ago. Me and Redbeard was talking about how, we really wasn't sure what this roster was going to look like. It was going to be very interesting to see how Coach Katie Weir was going to draw things up, what her coaching style is going to be, and the makeup of this roster. I'll tell you what, we've talked a lot about, also the incoming freshmen that, obviously had a lot of success in their middle school years, undefeated throughout middle school, but that's not always, going to translate into wins at the high school level. You still got to put in the hard work, got to put in the time, and not only that, but then you have to mesh well with everyone else that's already here. And at least through this first game, you can't really judge a whole lot, but I was really very happy with the way things went for us tonight, and that was a big win. We're a very young team. Delta has a young team as well for the most part. They have, like I said, roughly four seniors on their team. Also, I think five juniors. So, I mean, that's a good majority of your team is juniors and seniors. But also sprinkle in maybe a sophomore here or there, and also a couple of freshmen. So they do have some youth. Most of their team returned from last year. Now, most of their offense did not. They did have some offense that did leave following last season. Same thing as what Wapahani did. But it's just such an exciting group to watch. These young ladies and being able to see the youth of this team come out here and perform the way they did, I think was real nice. Sure, there's some things, they got to work on, but who doesn't? It's it's still the early part of the year, and even I don't care if we're at the latter part of the year in the state tournament. There's always things to be worked on, and but just to come out here and put it all together, see what they can offer in this first game, I was just really happy with this, with the way they played, and I'm happy for them. That they was able to experience success in this first game, and hopefully build off of it. You got to use this as a building block to get better together as a team, and it was, like I said, it was just thrilling to watch. I like to watch good games and broadcast good games and for good teams. And, this was just a real joy for me, and I know for Redbeard to do the camera work as usual. But this is going to be an exciting year, not only in volleyball, but, in basketball, baseball, softball. It's a great time to be able to do this and be able to bring this to all you fine folks out there. It means a great deal to us that you watch us, and that I guess you kind of bear with us here a little bit, especially in this first game, just kind of knocking the rust off here a little bit. So hopefully I did a good job, and you guys were pleased with the overall commentating, and Redbeard obviously doing his thing with the camera. But we just want to make sure we please everybody, and and that we're doing things the right way, and that these student athletes get recognized for the talents that they have, not only on the court, but in the classroom as well. That's where it really matters even the most. That these kids have got to get it done in the classroom first before they can do it on the court, and what they can do on the court is very, very special. So it was a great night for Lady Raider volleyball, no question about that. Great way to start out the season. Now you look to next week when we take on Blue River, in which that's going to be a heck of a game. That's to open up the conference season and to be able to play really a Blue River team that, if I remember correctly, I think they was improved, vastly improved from the last couple years, and for their sake, I think that's great, and to be able to experience that, was great for them. So hopefully Wapahani can come out here with a great game plan going into next Tuesday and get a big win. And then, like I said, the next Thursday we'll be right back here at home against Westdale to take on the Lady Warriors. And then finally we'll have the Wapahani Invitational, not this coming Saturday, but the Saturday following. I think it's like September 1st or no, maybe August 31st, if I remember correctly. That's a Saturday. So that's when the Invitational will be. So just some upcoming games to look forward to, and we'll have it on here on the broadcast. Not sure about next Tuesday or not. We'll wait and see, but we do appreciate you all for joining us, though, and staying with us. I know we had some audio issues earlier on in the game, so I apologize again there for that, but hopefully things were fixed. You was able to watch it and being able to enjoy it throughout its entirety. So, folks, until next time, again, a big win here tonight for Wapahani as they take it in 4 sets to improve to 1-0 on the season to open up this 2019 campaign. So to all of our sponsors and for all of you watching, we appreciate you all. I'm Brandon Morvillius alongside cameraman Jordan Redbeard McCoy saying good night from Raider Gymnasium.